times or threefold, depending on how you look at it. And I said, in order to gain and regain 3 times or threefold, the blessings inhabiting.
That's good, too. I like that. Threefold. We'll work with the threefold. That's good. Amen. And so you see, retribution now has been broken up into many different parts so that you can understand it a little bit better. It's not as bad as it seems. Or to me, it's not as bad as as I thought it was years and years ago. I'm talking about years ago when you heard about retribution. It just was, it wasn't going to be a good thing. It was not going to be. But you know what? Now I can be a little excited because you know what? 3 times. Amen. That sounds like God to me. And so we'll go ahead and move. And we're talking about the law of retribution. So type that in, the law of retribution. Can I tell you there's a law of retribution? And we're going to go ahead and begin to get into that law tonight. And it is going to be a blessing to those of you that are on the line right here. Now, Prophetess Kelly, you begin to talk about as you sow. Would you say as you sow, you would reap? Is that what yeah. And you and
I sow, what I reap. Yes.
Say that again.
What I sow, what I put out there is what I'm going to reap back.
Right. And so we'll just go back to the word, as a man soweth, so shall he reap. And that's the law of retribution. If you sow, you're going to reap. There's a response. There's a call and there's a response. There's an action and there's a reaction. And so we find different things that we have come up with in life that put into action the law of retribution. Here we go. Here's another one. If you fail to plan, that means you plan to fail. Amen. That's the law of retribution. You don't plan, guess what? You plan to fail. You set the laws into action, and that's what we're going to talk about, how you, not anybody else. See, the laws are there. They're already established. They cannot be altered. They cannot be changed. Amen. Anytime God enacts a law, it is so. And I don't care what you do or what you say or how you try to manipulate it. It's just like matter. It cannot be changed. Or energy, it cannot be changed. It just is. The law is. And whatever you do is going to be judged by that law. Yes. So the law of retribution just is. It doesn't change. Here's another one. When you give, you'll receive. The law of retribution. You're going to give something. When you give, and it doesn't matter what it is. But when you give, can I tell you, the law of retribution begins to kick in, and guess what happens? You're going to receive. It has to happen. It can't happen any other way. Why? Because the law has been enacted.
It's the law of the universe.
It's the law. Say that louder, Mother.
That's the law of the universe.
Amen. And the law of the universe cannot be altered.
Cannot be altered.
Amen. Well, here's another one. If you can think it up, you can think it down. It's the law of retribution. When you think it up, amen. You know what the old saying said, what goes up, what?
Must come down.
It cannot stay up. Amen. The law of retribution says it must come down. As a matter of fact, the law of retribution is backed by the law of gravity that says it's going to come down.
That's right.
It must. Amen. And so you can think of different laws. You can think of different symbolisms, if you will, that enact or that display the law of retribution. Yes. Yeah. But let's go ahead and begin to talk about this so that we can begin to see how now you can begin to enact the law of retribution and do so on your terms. Amen. In reading this, I said, I can go ahead and work this to my advantage. And every law can be worked and should be worked to your advantage.
Yes.
Amen. So let's start here. We'll go ahead. Prophetess Lisa, would you go ahead and read the law of retribution?
Okay. The law of retribution. The word retribution often brings to mind the idea of vengeance, which is the act of righting a wrong or enacting cosmic justice. This is not the meaning of retribution in the context of God's economy and the laws of being. Instead, the concept of divine retribution becomes a law of divine love.
Amen. So divine retribution becomes then a law of divine love. And you'll see that the law of retribution really actually operates out of the law of divine love. Well, let's go ahead and see how. Continue.
The mind creates reality, and so reality is subject to the energy of change that can either create or destroy. This is why whoever controls the images that permeate a society controls the destiny of its people. Images control and manipulate thoughts, which are the stuff of consciousness, and therefore catalysts for our psychoactive reality.
Okay, I want to just deal with that first sentence. The mind creates reality. I want to just stop right there. I just want to isolate that phrase. The mind creates reality. And so to further isolate, let's go ahead and type that into the chat room. Let's be personal. Let's say my mind creates my reality. Come on and type that in. My mind creates my reality. Come on and type that in the chat room. My mind creates my reality. Because no one can create your reality but you. It's according to how you think, so shall it be. Not according to what anyone else thinks. Everyone has their own reality that they're creating, but according to what you think. So because everybody else is thinking one way doesn't mean you have to think that way.
That's right.
Amen. Because you are an individual given free will and free choice. You can think the way you want to think. But know this, that whatever you think is going to create your reality. So what is it that you have created to be your reality? Because whatever it is that you're in right now, whatever situation you're in right now, whatever home you're in right now, whatever car you drive right now, whatever job you have right now, whatever family you have right now, can I tell you, you created it all. Your mind created that on some level. Now, maybe as you say, Prophetess, that just really can't be true, because you know what? I don't have a job now. I didn't create that. Yes, you did. Someplace, let me tell you how you create it. Because sometimes we say things, we don't even know what we're saying. Such as, I'm sick of this job. Cancel, cancel. Amen. Or you know what? I just need a vacation. Cancel, cancel. I'm just telling you different things that you say to create your reality. You see, the mind, the subconscious cannot take a joke. You put it out there, it reacts on it. So you say, I'm sick of this job. Guess what? The job will disappear.
Just right.
You say, you know, I'm tired of this job. You know what? The job will make sure that you don't have to be tired no more.
That's right.
Amen. You created that. Well, maybe you're in a one-bedroom house and there are 5 of y'all. Someplace you created that. Someplace you wanted that close-knit kind of family. You wanted all of y'all to be together all the time. Guess what? You created it. Amen. Now, I'm telling you what it is.
Yes,
because I'm trying to get you to a point to know that whatever your mind creates is going to be your reality. That means that if you don't like what you've created, Mother, Prophet Thompson, if you don't like what you created, you can go ahead and create it again.
That's right.
You're just simply going to get another thought. Amen.
Yes.
Prophet Lisa, you moving there. You want to say something? Yes.
Whatever your mind creates, whatever thoughts you have, that is what you create. That is it.
Amen. Look at just look at children. Here's a perfect example. When we go back sometime, so go back to kindergarten. I can see myself in my kindergarten class. I can see I had the little dress on with the little handkerchief pinned on the side, little socks and the shoes, Buster Brown shoes. I remember all that in the classroom. And we sat down, and it came time to draw. And so you would have to draw whatever was on your mind. The teacher didn't give you unnecessary something, draw this, that, or the other. It was free drawing. You could draw what you wanted to draw. So I would always try to draw a house. Now, I wasn't very good at drawing, but I would just kind of look and see how the other people made their houses, and I would try to copy making the house. Now, as I look back into what I was doing then, although I didn't know, I knew what I was seeing, and I just trying to work, just look at other people's papers so I could see how to kind of form it on my paper. My house, number one, always looked the same. I never deviated on how the house looked. Whatever I drew one time, I drew it for the rest of the year. It didn't change. What did change, I did add furnishings. So I added curtains and different things, grass and stuff like that. But my basic house structure was the same. It was always the same. But I began to think of what I wanted in my house. And in my house, when I began to draw my house, you begin to draw people, and I couldn't draw any more than the stick figures. I was the pro at stick figures. So I would draw my stick figures. I would have the mom and the dad, and I had 2 kids, and that was it. I never had more than 2 kids in my picture. Now, as I got older, I always wanted more than 2 kids,